Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. It's time for another full body workout, and running into a minor problem here. And I think a lot of it comes down to me not doing any core work for a while, even though my core is really strong from all the big lifts, and my hips getting over fatigued. So I'm experiencing a little bit of sciatic pain in my left side, and yeah, I'm looking at where it's at, and it's definitely sciatica because I'm feeling it down the glute, left spinal erector, and left oblique and everything. And I think it's because I've fatigued my left hip too much and I'm letting everything compensate on that side. And so I tried to start squatting today and I couldn't even warm up without pain. So I've realized, okay, I'm not going to be able to back squat today. I might try some front squats on Friday, but I think what I need to do at this point is start doing some stretches. After I finished training, I did some stretches and things for sciatic pain, just to loosen up the glutes and all of that. And it did seem to relieve it considerably. So it's definitely what it is, and it is what it is. I'll try to front squat on Friday, and if I can't back squat for a little while with this, I'll probably be able to front squat, and because it's a totally different force. So I'll try to do some front squats on Friday, and in the meantime, I'm kind of leaning more towards specializing a little bit in my overhead press and the press while I'm cutting, because I feel like that's an exercise that's really going to help me attain more of the look that I need as I drop down under 200 pounds, as I keep losing body fat. We're in 46 pounds at this point. Even my singlet's getting loose. Fortunately, I have some smaller singlets tucked away in storage. I can always switch to those. So I anticipated that with the cut 6 or 7 months ago and bought some extras. So you got to plan for these things. So yeah, I'm going to specialize in the press a little bit because I know that, like I was talking about in specializing earlier with full body, that's something I should probably do, simply because you need that look. And all of us who've studied this and look at it, and you look at what people who have a certain look do, who either use very little or no gear, they're all strong at the overhead press. All the classic bodybuilding dudes are strong at the press, and let's be honest here, it's not a bodybuilding movement, it's an all-around badass exercise. So I'm going to put a little more volume into the press than any other lift for a little while. Again, just to get my whole shoulder girdle a little bigger, delts, upper chest, helps with the triceps more, all of that stuff. I think that will help as I get leaner. I drop another 20 pounds and bring up those areas, and I think that's going to probably give the look that we need to get that YouTube money while still being able to be strong, right? That's what we need to do. So we're going to finish this cut out. We're going to finish that look. But, you know, all the lifts outside of that went pretty good today. I did feel a little bit on my deadlifts, though. I totally felt it. So I'm going to need to keep doing those stretches. I'm going to need to do extra ab work and back off the back squats. Because honestly, here's what it comes down to. I probably should have deloaded already. But I've been cutting and I've been losing weight quickly. And I've been worried about deloading because, why? I'm worried about losing muscle. When I'm dropping a couple pounds a week, that's a valid concern. And I've been pushing things pretty hard. And again, that left hip has been really fatigued. It's been really fatigued. And that's made me compensate on that left side a little bit. And yeah, now it's causing, you know, sciatic nerve pressure. Which, you know, welcome to getting older, guys. Welcome to getting older. But yeah, I'll just rehab myself with it. I know all the exercises and stretches and things I need to do. And, you know, we need to take a break from back squats for just a bit. Instead of deloading, I'll see if I can work up progression on front squats. Earlier this year, actually, before I started filming at home, I hit a 365 front squat ass to grass over at 24-Hour Fitness before I bought all this home equipment. So I think I can build up to some decent front squat numbers. Because I also added 60 pounds to my back squat after doing that. So, you know, work on my front squat. See if I can get that going for now, just to make sure I maintain some lower body size while I'm cutting. Because if I can't back squat for just a bit while I'm working around that, and I'm doing all this deadlifting with the hook grip and deficit, I'm not going to get enough volume in there. So I'm going to need the front squat. So there we go. This is where we come into useful things. People ask you, whenever you want to do a front squat or a safety bar squat. I don't know, when you're getting overuse problems from the back squat. I don't think they're as good at exercises personally. I don't think the front squat can replace the back squat for overall size. But if you can't back squat for a little while, it's pretty good. And that grip I have to do on it will probably help my press a little bit. I'll just get used to holding a heavier weight. in a further rack back position. But yeah, I can do a full rack on the front squat, which you guys will see when I start doing it. Like I said, I got into where I was doing it with 365 in the other gym with a thumb over grip, so not that fingertip stuff, without dumping it either. So should be pretty good. The press today, I went up to the 155. I'm going to work it back up, and I went ahead and did a 5x5. All right, I did a 5x5, but guess what? I did 6 reps on my last set, which tells me we can start micro loading it up, because if I can do a 5x5 plus 1, means we can add the baby plates next time and do a 5x5. And if we keep adding the baby plates and it drops down to a 3x5, then that's what it does. But I want to get a little more volume in on the press. I feel like it's what I need to be doing right now. I know it will really help me tremendously to rebuild this lift back up. And again, as I lose body fat, to really emphasize the press and those weighted pull-ups, I think that's going to help tremendously with those areas that people think of as us fat power lifters that make us really unaesthetic. Is just lack of the whole shoulder girdle sometimes in the upper chest and things, just those areas. And as you guys have seen from everyone, even Keno Booty knows all that. Even he knows all that. That's a big part of his look, is all that overhead pressing he does and all those pull-ups. Been very successful for him. Hell, even Strap On Destiny has realized that, and it works. There's truth to that. There's truth to that. That's been the one saving grace for those guys when they get lean. It's allowed them to build those areas up. So I'm going to put a heavy focus on the press again and really, really build up my whole shoulder girdle so we get that full-on fake natty look. Instead of saying, like a lot of guys do, oh man, I'll just do a few lateral raises and then use a bunch of trend and pretend that the side laterals did it. No, guys, I'm going to do a bunch of volume of pressing. And I'm going to do some face pulls, and we're going to legitimately build those areas up and then not use trend and just diet down and pull that off. There you go. There's my naturally enhanced, or TRT enhanced, because I'm not natural. I'm on that there TRT. I think that works pretty well. We'll do it that way. But yeah, this set, we went ahead and we got that 6th rep. So all good, baby. All good. Deadlifts, I decided to work it back in because I need to work it back in slow. So just do some reps to get the hook grip going again with these deficit deadlifts. And it's a deficit because I'm in Olympic shoes, right? That does create about a 1-inch deficit compared to my flats or just my socks. But I did feel it again when I went to do like my 3rd rep with the next set. So I think what we'll do Friday, we'll come in and do some front squats, and maybe I'll build up to a semi-heavy single with this hook grip, because the hook grip was holding fine. It's not hurting. Everything's good there. So I'm happy with that overall. I've got to worry about that little bit of sciatic pain, which I'm going to work around. Again, the joys of lifting heavy in your 40s. The joys of it. And stuff you have to learn to work around, guys. And not training is not an option. Kind of like what Ripple Toe says. Good old Ripple Tits. Ripple Toe, whatever we want to call him. I like Mark, though. To be honest, I think he's a good guy. So, no, not really intended to make fun of him. He's a pretty legit source of information. I think everybody should buy his book. What he says is you're gonna hurt anyways. So what are you gonna do? You're just gonna stop training? You can train and hurt, or you can not train and hurt. Then I did some band face pulls here. But yeah, the whole point of that is that you have to work around those areas. And so that's what I'm going to do. Just rehab it a little bit, switch exercises slightly to take some of the stress off of it. And I got a little bit of hamstring going there. A little bit of hamstring going. But yeah, so we got them face pulls in. I didn't really count reps. I just counted till it burned. Now, some people will be like, that's not good progressive overload. That came up in the comments earlier, but it's like, I'm doing face pulls as a little accessory just to get extra stimulation and just some extra metabolic fatigue in those areas. It's not really a primary hypertrophy exercise. I did 3 sets of weighted pull-ups and 5 sets of the press. That is my delt work. This is purely there to add a little bit of metabolic fatigue to those areas, right? Just to finish them off. And when we're talking about just finishing an area off, focusing on progression isn't that important, because if you can hit the same whatever little silly fluffy wuffy fluff and pump that you do every workout and not increase it, but you're increasing the primary exercises involved, you're still increasing your total workload. And honestly, those little exercises, they don't matter that much. And so therefore, I think tracking them and being exact with them really just doesn't make a shit. It really doesn't. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.